How about making like small grenades that interrupt electronic devices?
Okay, well, you're talking about gear and everything.
I'm going into weapons. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm doing right off the jump.
Okay.
As soon as we know that it is robots and AI, I am finding the largest electromagnetic pulse device known to mankind, and I am setting that motherfucker off. In particular, as close to the fucking source of the AI as I can get.
Okay.
I don't care if it's a suicide mission.
Right.
I'm doing it.
I think there'd be a lot of people that feel like that. I think that could also come into account. Maybe. See, I don't think it would work. I don't. I think that your idea might work. I was just starting to think in my head on. We would definitely have to have weapons that would use electromagnetic pulses.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Even if it's like an EMP bullet or something. If you just ding a robot with an EMP bullet, guess what? Then it shuts down.
Right.
Oh, I mean, you don't even need to hit that square. All you need to do is nick them.
I think bullets in general would be somewhat useless. I would.
Okay.
I would think.
What if it's just something that fires like a laser that has some sort of like EMP kind of thing? Look, you're thinking.
No, well,
you're thinking.
Yeah, I am thinking. I'm thinking more along the lines of.
I'm fucking you up.
A grenade launcher that has an EMP kind of grenade.
EMP grenade. Yeah.
Right.
Some along those lines.
I think that is.
But at the same point in time, if we have an EMP grenade, can we not, develop that technology into an EMP bullet? Or something similar along that line, maybe an EMP laser.
I mean, I'm not a scientist. I can't.
Right, obviously, but
I don't know how.
I mean, we're talking about EMP grenade launchers and everything, so.
Well, I think it would be easier to create like an EMP grenade launcher than it is far easier to create a small projectile explosive that releases an EMP pulse as compared to a very tiny bullet that.
Like I said, largest EMP device created by mankind is going in the back of the car. I'm driving that shit up Haji style and fucking setting it off.
I'm telling you right now, you only have.
Don't care.
You only have one opportunity at that, because as soon as it finds that there's an existential threat on any kind of item or object that creates an EMP pulse,
mission.
It is absolutely the machine will effectively. I don't think there's a central location for this. I think that the intelligence can move from one place to another. I think,
and that's the concern. Is the EMP device large enough to shut down, like global operations? We'll say. Is it possible that 50 years from now we have an EMP device that shuts down all electronics across the globe? I think it could potentially be.
I don't know about the entire globe. I think you would have to have an a coordinated EMP pulse all around the world.
The resistance. Let us know down in the comments if you want to be in the resistance. God damn it, we're just like rehashing the Terminator movie.
Right. We are. pretty much. I think the people that made the movie probably thought about all these things. They were probably just sitting around brainstorming on the types of things that they would have to do to defeat the machines. You know what I mean? Not to mention, I think further on the movies probably looked back at fan feedback and read about these things.
Oh yeah,
thought about these
and then they got bad.
Which I did for some of these questions and ideas. I kind of thought I did browse Reddit on a Terminator subject.
You went to Reddit.
Yeah.
You went to Reddit for.
I have literally never been to Reddit before, but when I was looking up, even the internet doesn't want you to read about how to defeat robots because the AI has already taken over. I'm a conspiracy theorist now.
So you're saying that the information was, behind like a curtain,
right?
A little bit.
Right. They don't want you to investigate on how to defeat the robots.
Okay. I mean, have you seen some of those like robots there? You know, got going on like with DARPA, MIT, and everything. They're doing like somersaults and shit.
Well, there's no doubt that any kind of cyborg is going to be far more powerful than you are, and probably more agile.
I mean, right? I mean, it's like, but realistically, it kind of needs to be viewed as a legitimate concern. I would think.
I think that any technology that you create needs to be in a concern on how it's used. Because first and foremost, every single government...
How do you control how it's used, though?
Every single government in the world is going to... is going to be viewed as how can we use this military.
Right, yeah. Military applications, number one.
Correct.
Social application is probably like number 6.
Right. Actually, you know what? I think the social application is actually moving up on the list because
that's a bold statement.
Well, if you can control the people socially, you could actually control the world.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Killing people isn't as effective as using people.
Fair enough.
Which in the end of the subject, I was actually going to go to.
We'll get there.
All right. Let me see what else I got here.
We were talking about weapons.
Right. So
tangent. We went off on a tangent.
If you want to find a secure place to stay, I personally believe you will not be able to stay in one place for a very long time. I think you are going to have to be constantly on the move. Number one thing you're going to have to do is have a small device or object. I think just like a broken motor that pumps out a lot of amperage. You can plug it into a socket and you can blow all the circuit breakers in the building, or cut power to the building that you would want to move in. I think that is the number one thing that you need to do.
What? Well, I mean, this also poses the question: what are the surveillance capabilities?
So
that we are facing.
Okay, so I think cities in general, if they still exist, because that would be the number one target. I think cities are...
Cities are going to be a thing of the past. You say that half of the world's population is wiped out.
Right.
I assume that every city is just decimated.
I would assume the same.
Every city.
But you have to think, even every single town in the United States, there's traffic cameras at almost every single bridge. There's cameras at almost every single stoplight. You would have to be out in the boonies somewhere. You could not be operating in a suburb or a city, which we would believe that the cities would be completely changed.
Any sort of population, sort of like even like a minor population hub.
Right. They would have to be producing their own energy. I would say that. I don't know if they could actually. I mean, I would suppose we're just going to assume that the machines have a way to produce their own energy, and that all these things are still operational.
Until I
without maintenance
embark on my EMP mission.
Correct.
Hopefully that wins the scenario. Let us know down in the comments if you think I'm a genius.
Yeah, I wrote down computer virus, which is something that also played out.
Oh, that's another good one. But at the same point in time, you need a computer, and a computer, I mean, it would have to be an air-gapped computer, but